Hey everybody, welcome back to the Active Turnkey Podcast. I'm your host, Jarrod Stotmeister, and yes, I'm out in the field again, not in our studio. We're continuing our mini-series here on being in the field, evaluating deals and seeing what they look like when we walk through them. Many of you guys, you get to see some pictures and you get to see those types of things, and you certainly, when you come in, maybe you guys got to walk through some houses that you saw, but today and through this series we wanted to walk through houses, show you how we evaluate them, how we make our decisions, and how that helps us with our exit strategies. So today we're going through another property. This one's actually under contract to sell with another investor. This is in Lake Station, and our intention here is to sell this one active turnkey and to help the investor get as much of his cash as possible out of the deal. And it's a great opportunity here in Lake Station. If you're looking for a good area, Lake Station is a good area. If you're looking to diversify, you can get some deals in Lake Station. They're still difficult. Gary's the best place to find deals, in my opinion, especially if you're looking for any kind of spread. But right now, Lake Station is an area you can do that. This one's a 2-bed, 1-bath. And you have to excuse they're doing some tree work next door to us here. But I'm going to walk through again this property today, show you some things that we're going to do to the property and help you with some decisions we made to help maximize the value. So we're standing here out in front of the property, and right away, it's a cute house. If you look at the neighborhood, it's a very, very cute neighborhood. Every house is occupied. Lake Station's a nice little town. And at one point, Lake Station was a part of Gary. But if you look around, a lot of nice houses. In fact, I would tell you this is probably the worst house in the block, and that's always a good one to get. If you have the worst one in the block, you can fix it up nice and it'll fit in with the community. And so, first of all, the roof's in pretty good shape. We would tell you it's definitely has a lot of life left. If you look, there was a branch or some sort of branch of some kind that fell down from a storm, so that's in the scope of work. So in this scope right away, we're going to have them trim that down. Anything that's left hanging over the house will cut down as well, and then we'll also inspect that roof just to make sure there weren't any issues with the roof. We'll patch if necessary. But as we look at the property right away, one thing we determined is to make some repairs. This is like a wood siding. It's not aluminum. So we will need to have what we're planning to do is scrape and paint. So we'll be able to pick our own colors. We'll paint the shutters. It'll be beautiful. We'll get rid of these screen doors. I already mentioned that in one of the previous episodes, but we don't like the screen doors long term for tenants. They always seem to damage them, and of course it's something that the owner has to pay for. Now I will say, owners, that a lot of tenants ask for it, so that might be your decision if you really want to keep it on there. Just know that it comes with maintenance long term. And so if you're willing to do that just to give something nice to your tenants, then that's great. But we typically don't put it on for that reason, just to put on a long-term cost. And so outside, I already talked about it. We talked about the roof. We're going to do the siding and the shutters. And we'll repair this little light here, make sure that's right. We'll paint around the doors. We'll paint the exterior doors. I do believe there's actually some exterior doors in the scope of work. We'll repair this, the front stoop here. There's definitely some repairs that are needed here. We'll repair this side deck. So there's actually, these are the 2 exterior doors, and on the back there's a sliding glass door. So this is a point of egress. We will need to make sure to get this all repaired. But there's some upgrades into windows. You can see that would certainly need to be replaced. So that's going to be done. And then we're also going to repair this porch and we'll make it look nice, paint it, make it look nice and sharp. And you can see here there's some of that siding repair I was mentioning earlier. So as we come around, we'll take a look here at the backyard. It is a fenced yard, which is definitely nice to have. There's some cleanup here, and there's 2 outbuildings. So first of all, we have in our scope of work to eliminate this back one. This back one's pretty decrepit, and so we determined just to get rid of it altogether. Don't try to save it at all. If you're getting some sort of lending, a bank may not like to see that building. They may not want to see that. So depending on your lending, that could be a problem. But we're going to get rid of that. This one, we're probably going to get rid of as well. There's been enough damage to that to where we probably should get rid of it. But the yard overall is a decent sized yard. It's all fenced. It's got alley access back there, so that's nice to have. As we look back here, you can see that there's some siding repair, so we'll take care of that. It's in the scope of work. We'll take care of some repairs for the back porch. So this will all look nice, a nice little area, enclosed area where the family can come and hang out. So all this will be nice, clean and neat. Down here is where you have access to the cellar. So this will be closed up. If you can see, it's kind of partially open there, so that'll be sealed up. And we did have the investor who was asking here. He thought it might be wise to close it and lock it, so there's no access for the next tenant. And I think his idea was for safety purposes, so they're not coming up and down here. And so there are some things we would have to do in the scope to secure this. This is definitely a safety hazard right now. Someone could fall in there, and so we'd need to make sure there's railings here and a railing going down. But to answer his question, my response was that it's probably best not to do that. You really do want to make sure that the tenant is checking down there. Heaven forbid there's ever a leak down there and it's locked and no one goes down there ever to check. You don't want to get into that. That could be a problem, and that no one knows about until you got standing water, mold, and everything that comes with that. So in the end, you really don't want there to be spaces that are never seen by anybody. It's just, that's how stuff happens, and no one knows about it. So there is a little bit of repair out here, but there's your clean out. Everyone likes those. So now we're going to go inside the property. The inside of the property is in good shape. So one of the things you have to go through is the better shape the property in. I always found it's actually more difficult to make decisions, because now you're trying to determine exactly what you're going to do. So one of those things is, at first glance, looking at this flooring, it looks like it's really good. The owner, I actually know the owner personally, and he had said that this is newer flooring. But if we really start looking at it, you start to see there's clearly some wear down there. And frankly, I'll tell you, if there was no flooring throughout the whole entire house to do, then maybe you save it. And maybe I get a couple turns out of it just to save some money. That's one perspective. And if this is a turnover, if I like the last one we looked at it on Hamilton Place, my personal rental, if it's a turnover, it's one thing. But if you're doing you got money or you have money and you're trying to get max value, we ended up deciding to tell the owner, hey, you might as well go through and just replace it all, because you're already putting it in here in the kitchen. So they had linoleum here, and then they had the damaged flooring along here, and you can see it's kind of damaged around the edges. They didn't have any type of termination strips or anything down there, so it did damage that floor. And so one benefit though to doing it all is that it will be all continuous. If you wait, if you're saving money and you wait, now next time you do want to put in new flooring, now you have two types of flooring. And trust me guys, doing this long enough, flooring companies discontinue flooring all the time. And so you're never guaranteed you're going to get that flooring again that you put in one area. And so my recommendation here was to go ahead and replace all the flooring, and that's exactly what he decided to do. So they are going to be putting flooring in here. We are getting all new windows here at the property at this project, so you can kind of see the theme there. These are all old original windows, so those are going to be gone. The kitchen is actually kind of cute, and so we're going to leave it alone. We do have in the scope to paint them. So we'll paint the scope. We're going to put in quartz countertops, but it's not very big. So that's where, again, for us, we put them in every project. And one of the reasons is it's a low cost way to really raise the standard of the house, make it look beautiful. We've talked about quartz countertops several times on our podcast, but we'll put a backsplash in quartz countertops. We have new appliances in the scope of work. And so this kitchen and everything will look brand new. So we have new flooring and new pulls on the cabinets as well. So we'll have new updated pulls. These are the gold ones or brass. So we'll update them to black finishes, which are trendy today. And then again, all these will be painted. There's your second access. That door will be replaced. And then this slider looks good. It just needs a little bit of trim work. So we'll take care of that. The mechanics here, we already talked about the roof, but these mechanics are actually newer. And so this is actually something we would not replace. And frankly, as a seller, we would never do this. We would never agree unless they were damaged in some way. And as I turn, I want you to see this as we look closer. It does not have the termination there, or whatever you call it, the pipe that goes down from the exhaust pipe. It's a safety feature. That is pretty dangerous, and so that's something that was not caught when they installed it originally. So that'll be done, but all this will be inspected and cleaned up. It'll look nice. And then also here, this is where you would likely put some form of a stackable. You could put your stackable laundry here, and that would be there'd be plenty of room for that to tuck inside here. So that's the living room, that's the kitchen and dining, and now we're going to head into some of the living areas. And so this is the first bedroom. And again, guys, I can't say this enough. The very first time we looking at pictures, we anticipated saving the flooring. The owner, the guy, or the new owner, the guy who's going to buy it, said, "Hey, Jarrod, whatever you can do, if there's a way we can save this flooring, let's do it." But after we've already talked about it, this room is in better shape than the others because of use. But even still, it's definitely worth, and in fact, you could even see a little bit of like water marks here. So they would have had at some point a leak, or someone would have spilled something or whatever. So all these walls will be painted, trim will be painted. It'll be nice. It's actually a pretty good sized bedroom. But again, this will have all new flooring. It'll all look new. Bedroom 2 here. Again, a good sized bedroom. At least this one does have light. And actually, if you look at it, this is a different type of flooring. So although this flooring is in decent shape, it is another type of flooring. So right now, we currently have 4 different types of flooring in this house right now. So the scope would call for it all to be continuous throughout the whole house. Everything will look great. The closet doors will do any kind of light repairs. They're in good shape, so we repair them. And paint walls, paint trim, and this bedroom is pretty easy. And then lastly, we'll walk here into the bathroom, and we'll see here that the owner did try to put some money in here. Actually, that vanity is a pretty nice one. It's got the quartz top, so that's a really nice top. So we are absolutely going to save the vanity. The toilet is new. We'll save that. However, we will be switching out the shower surround and possibly the tub. We'll inspect that. But all this will be new. They did put a little bit of money into the shower kit, and so those are actually pretty decent. We may save those just to save money. One more thing to take a look into account is this vanity does stick out really far into the shower area, where it's almost absolutely gonna hit somebody when they're in that shower. It might not feel good. So we may be able to we have room here to move that vanity just slightly over, just to give us some spaces. But this is a pretty good shape in the bathroom overall. We'll make some drywall repairs, and she'll look pretty nice. So it's a 2-bedroom house, around like 750 square feet. Not a lot going on, but it's a lot better area, a really nice area, up and coming area. And so the rehab is around almost $50,000 when it's all said and done, with everything coming in, updating everything. And so by the time it's all said and done, this is going to be a beautiful house. It'll be one of the nicer houses on the block after being one of the ugliest one. And this is it. This is another deal that we are offering to our clients. And thanks again for joining us here today on the Active Turnkey Podcast. I hope this podcast brought you value and helped you as we try to, again, make decisions. Sometimes these decisions are obvious. Maybe some of you guys who've been doing this for a while, like Jarrod, this brought me no value. That's fine. I can understand how that could be the case. But in the end, some of these decisions are not easy. The floor decision, and when you bring an investor involved and they can't see it on site. But this video is supposed to show you guys how we come to our conclusions and how we're making our decisions based upon the numbers and based upon the tenants and what we help us with values and all that stuff. Guys, I appreciate you for joining us. Active Turnkey, the best way to buy rentals. We'll see you. Have a good one.